Today we're diving into a really unique philosophical text that completely flips the idea of resurrection on its head. So forget everything you think you know about miracles and bodies coming back to life. This is all about consciousness, dreams, and the incredible, almost tangible power of love.
Right from the get-go, the source hits us with this beautifully simple line. To die and live again is called resurrection. It sets the stage perfectly. But as we're about to find out, the author isn't talking about physical death at all. This is the hook, the thing that pulls us into something way, way deeper.
So, if it's not about dying in the physical sense, then what is it about? Well, this text redefines the whole concept. It's talking about a spiritual awakening, a huge shift in how we perceive reality. It's asking us to consider that maybe, just maybe, our life here on Earth isn't the main event, but something more like a dream.
And here it is, the core idea, laid out for us. The text basically says that life as we know it is a kind of dream. So resurrection isn't about coming back to life in the dream. It's about waking up from the dream and having your consciousness return to a higher reality, what it calls the heavenly kingdom. It's a return, you see, not a revival.
Now, to help us wrap our heads around this pretty abstract idea, the author uses this really powerful modern metaphor. They suggest that our life is kind of like a software program. And, just like any program, it's got its own rules, its own functions.
Just think about that for a second. If life is a program, that means it has code, it has an operating system, and yeah, it can get bugs. It's a system that can wear down, that can get corrupted over time.
Okay, so here's how this life program works. It's got a self-repair function built right in, which makes sense, right? Our bodies do that. But to fight off the really deep-seated decay, the aging, the damage, it needs an external input. It needs a special kind of spiritual energy to run what you might call a system update.
So what is this special energy? What's the power source that can patch the program and wake the sleeper from the dream? Well, the source is crystal clear on this. The ultimate energy, the ultimate power source, is love.
And the text just comes right out and says it. Love is the greatest energy for repairing life. Love can awaken the sleeping person. This isn't just supposed to be poetic. In this way of thinking, love is a real, tangible, powerful force. In fact, it's the only force strong enough to reboot the whole system.
To make this all feel a bit more real, the text gives us this fantastic comparison. We all know stories, right? A person in a coma, and doctors say there's no hope, but a loved one keeps talking to them, and they wake up. The text says it's just like that. A powerful call of love can awaken a soul from its spiritual coma, this dream on earth, and pull its consciousness back home.
Okay, and this is where the author brings themselves directly into the story. They say they have a very specific job to do, a mission, to actually find and awaken these sleeping souls. And their mission is incredibly focused. It's not about teaching all of humanity some new philosophy. No, it's about finding specific souls from that heavenly kingdom who've gotten lost in the dream of Earth, and then using love as the signal, like a homing beacon, to wake them up.
And apparently, not all these sleepers are snoozing at the same level. The text actually breaks them down into 3 types. First, you've got the light sleepers. They wake up almost instantly. This is your love at first sight moment. Then there are the deep sleepers. They need to be called over and over. And finally, you have the heavy sleepers, who are so deep in the dream you practically have to shake them to get them to wake up. So, what's the end game here? What's the point of all this waking up? Well, it's a journey home. It's about guiding these now awakened consciousnesses all the way back to where they came from.
So why is love the key that fits the lock? According to the text, it's because these higher-level beings are literally made of love. That's their primary substance. So when you use love to call to them, you're not just waking them up, you're speaking to them in their native language. You're reminding them of what they are.
This line, it just brings the whole thing together. The author is speaking directly to these souls, saying, this is not your home. Your home is in the heavenly kingdom made of love. It's a call to remember a place you've forgotten, a home where you truly belong. It's powerful stuff. And then the text ends with this incredibly intimate, urgent plea. It drops all the philosophy, all the theory, and it just becomes this direct, personal, and loving call. My dear baby, wake up.
So we're left with this really potent idea. Resurrection isn't about the body, but about the spirit. It's an awakening from a dream, and it's powered entirely by love. It really makes you stop and ask yourself, right? If love is the energy, then what does it truly mean to awaken? And what kind of dream are we living in right now?